Good afternoon, everybody. How we all doing? Happy Mother's Day weekend. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. We're here today to do a little racing action. Alright, well, it's Saturday, which means at this time of day on the Saturdays, we have our absolutely amazing group of racers from the Gran Turismo racing community here, and we're in our off week of the big championship series, so that means it's the mini series, which means, that's right, those fun radicals are back on the racetrack here. So it is round 3 of a 6-week series here with the radicals, and after 2 rounds of absolutely great radical racing here from the GTRC community, well, you can see it on the screen in front of you. It's Apex Jakey leading the way with 32 points. Hairraiser in second with 30. Doug in third with 30 as well. So tied for second, I guess, essentially. In fourth place is Piggins with 26 points. Petrolhead there is 20. Bow Snipe with 20 as well. Superboy with 18. We have Action Jackson with 14. Mike with 11. Type R with 11. UTAP with 10. Sarah with 10. Mr. Pappy there with 7, Trolling with 5, and Lone Ghost with 3. I think we have 2 of the same names on there, actually, so. And we have to reset the capture card. I kind of had a suspicion that was going to happen. There we go. Alright, so how we all doing? I'm your host here for the evening, GT45 Gaming, or RR Ghost 45 on PlayStation Network. Sorry, lots of things happening here. I got computers bopping and bipping and booping here, and it's showing me all kinds of stuff that doesn't typically show me while I'm streaming here, so I just make sure everything is running okay. We did have some technical difficulties with our PC most recently here this past week, so still working out some bugs and kinks maybe. Welcome in though, everybody. So we're over in the United Kingdom here today. We're 9 minutes from race time. And, well, the objective really is to come out on top of the podium after an hour of racing here in the Radicals. So I don't have a whole lot happening here at the moment, guys. We're just kind of warming up, putting in some laps, some final testing. Now, the Radicals are a fun series, a fun little group of cars to drive here. So Brands Hatch, absolutely a perfect racetrack for them. I mean, really the two come together really, really well. Right amount of speed for these cars and the right size of racetrack for it should really provide for some great spectacular racing here. Brands Hatch, pretty awesome racetrack here as well. Dropping a like at Indy Motor Speedway. I know, I'm so jelly, my man. Aaron Benson coming in with that thumbs up all the way from Indianapolis Speedway. Enjoy the race, my guy, for real, for real. Alright, so we're going to keep the standings up here for a minute until we get some drivers out, more drivers out on the racetrack. I'm not sure what the grid size is here yet today. We're just about race time here, so some of the drivers are just getting these cars pulled out of their garages and getting them ready to get out on the racetrack. So it's been an interesting series here thus far. Early on in the season, and well, these mini-series are always fun here at the GTRC community, that's for sure. So yeah, the drivers come out and they do the best they can with these very spicy little race cars, and of course, lost my train of thought for a second. The game just had a recent update as well, so they were, well, they said they were sorting out some bugs and glitches and fixes for server maintenance, which was fantastic. So, not sure if that adapted to any kind of physics changes or anything either as well. Who knows with these updates, but the drivers, nonetheless, they're going to be at it and they're going to give it the best they got. So, it's going to be very interesting to see how it all shapes out. Whose car is that? It's very green. I like it. We'll show you what I see here shortly, everybody. So how are we all doing? What are our big plans here for our Mother's Day weekend? Aaron's hanging out at Indianapolis. That sounds pretty fun. It's Sunday, of course, here for those of us up in Canada, I believe in the United States as well. So make sure you don't forget to go say Happy Mother's Day and give Mom a big hug, because, well, we wouldn't be here without Mom, in a literal sense as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's Mom. Mom does, everything for us. They give their undying love for their children, no matter how old their children are. So, much love to all the moms out there that are watching. We appreciate you, and we definitely love you, even though we don't necessarily show it the best sometimes. We definitely do. So, we're going to kick off a nice little race for everybody, for the racing moms out there, that is, anyways. Radicals should be a lot of fun. It's kind of like a gateway into racing in real life. These Radicals Super Series, they have them over in the, of course, United Kingdom, over in Europe. They have them here in the United States as well, North America. Maybe not as prominently as they are over on the Europe side of things, but it's like an entry-level racing car. They're a spicy little race car. They're quite hard to handle. You kind of got to drive them on the edge to really maximize and get the best out of them at the same time as well. So they really do kind of test your skill and testament as a race car driver, even if you're a learning race car driver. So a lot of teams will look at the Radical series, the Supercup series that they have in real life, and in North America they'll take a look at the Miata series and stuff like that as well. It's a very similar base kind of car, entry-level racing car, very difficult to drive, and if you master that car, you're probably ready to drive anything that you can get behind the seat of with a little bit of time, practice, and understanding. So racing teams really do watch and keep their eyes and develop drivers through these smaller fun series like the Radicals, like I said, and the Miatas and stuff like that as well. So sports club racing, you just never know what it leads to. So Radicals definitely a gateway into that ever so elusive racing circuit as a driver. I guess some drivers just kind of running some final laps here. Just a couple. Well, what you see is what I see, is you can hear it. You just can't see it. I know, right? There we go. Alright, so this is what I'm looking at here. We got Pigham's here in the Red Bull Radical here. Sitting currently first in practice so far on the track. We got Mike's 1972 here. He's coming into pit lane. A little bit of lag coming from that driver here today. Hair Razor in the Ghostbusters car. This is by far one of my favorite Radicals out of this series so far, is this job right here. This is a great paint scheme here on this Radical, so a little bit of fun there, a little bit of looking back in time for those of us that remember the good days of Ghostbusters. We got Devlin here, nice, clean and simple, almost going with that Lotus look there on his Radical. Doug's in pit lane. We got Type R in pit lane. The usual suspects, Mr. Happy Pappy as well in that bright green car. We got Supra here in 8th as well on track. Jakey here, or as you see, leading the standings here, and he's in a, I'm not sure if that's purple or pink Radical here, so we'll have to wait to see that thing out on track. Got Mike 1972. He's in the National Bank Radical. So it's going to be an interesting race here today. Obviously, there's going to be just different skill level of racers on the racetrack here in the race today as well. But it's Brands Hatch. You can make a very small mistake here at Brands Hatch. Just clip that edge of that racetrack like we almost saw Pigham's do there. And it'd be very easy for these Radicals just to grab that and get a little bit extra wheel spin on that side of the race car, and you're going to lose the back end of this race car. And well, you're along for a ride, maybe mowing a little grass. Or in this case, off in the sand trap at the end of the corner. Very easy to do here as well. But it's tricky. It's a technical racetrack. These cars are very due to the mid-rear engine style setup on these race cars. Of course, they're a little bit spicy. When you get them wrong, they make you pay the price. So it's a good run there as you see Pigham's coming out of Paddock Hill Bend there. I think that one's Druids. I can't quite remember. And you can see Devlin just moving out of the way of Pigham's there. Pigham's actually on a purple sector there as he's coming around using all that curbing. You have to be careful on that curbing out of the exit of that corner as well. It's very slippery. It's very easy to over-rotate your tires on that curb and again lose the backside of that race car. And then you could be in a little wobble. You could end up spinning, could end up in a wall, could end up with a number of things and a couple of issues, of course, resulting because of that. So it's definitely going to cost you time. So you gotta kind of assess risk versus reward here at Brands Hatch. Now remember, it's a 1 hour endurance race here today for everybody viewing at home, so it's not, you don't need to win it in the first lap. Obviously, getting a good race start and trying to get the best position in clean air does obviously have its advantages at a race start for sure, but you don't win the race until you take the checkered flag first. So you gotta set yourself up for the long game. The better the position, the better chance you have of bringing home a race win. Of course, strategy is going to come into play here, as it is 6 times tire wear here in these cars, and it's 5 times fuel consumption here in the series. So every time these drivers go around one full racing circuit at Brands Hatch here today, they're going to be using 6 laps worth of tires, and they're going to be using 5 laps worth of fuel per lap ran. So Pickens, there we go, and there's a little bit of oversteer moment there as Pickens heads in the Paddock Hill bend. It just doesn't quite get it right, and that's just you cannot turn these cars under braking, or that's what happens. So it's a lot of straight line braking required in these radicals, and the looseness of the cars, of course, the light rear end in this car as you're going around the racetrack at speed, essentially you can use to your advantage, as opposed to it being a disadvantage, in a sense that it kind of helps the car rotate. So if you can control the amount of swing that the back end of these cars has around the corner, you can really maximize throttle on exit that way. But again, it's a risk versus reward type deal with these cars, and they pick up slipstream very quickly. So we're going to see some interesting racing here today. That much I can definitely assure everyone that's viewing here from home, so or wherever it is you're viewing from. Indy in this case for Aaron Benson, which is pretty legendary, I gotta say. Hello Indy. We got to say hello Daytona this year too as well, so hello, Indy. Alright, definitely still putting in some laps here. He's putting in his paces. And 2 minutes says the host. And that's what just came up on the screen there. And everything is A-okay. They might be waiting for a driver potentially. But we do have 10 on the field here, so not bad turnout here on Mother's Day week, I gotta say. Good job. So we do have some full-timers, and then we have some drivers coming in, filling in for the day. Maybe they enjoy it, they finish out the season, who knows. But we do appreciate all the drivers on track, of course, that come in and put in their paces, and it should be a good race here. So it's gonna be interesting to see what all shapes up after an hour of racing at Brands Hatch. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Good track, a really great combination for this car, in my opinion anyways. And well, 10 of them on the track should make for some fun. Very simple Lotus style paint job on that race car. I'm enjoying it. I mean, just digging watching him as he goes around the racetrack here. Alright, everybody's chilling here. Everybody's just getting ready for qualifying. It's 10, so it's going to be six laps around, I believe, for qualifying. I could be wrong about that. 7 with the outlap, of course. So that's good. That gives the driver, you can make a mistake on a lap and you can still make up for it the next lap around. So yeah, we did have exactly what I thought it was. We had a driver that was coming back. So it looks like we're going to have 11 here in the field today, which is fantastic. So some kind of issue with that race car. They had to pull it back into the garage for a minute. Race control, since it's Mother Day, being ever oh so kind here today to our racing teams and our crews, and allowing that driver just a couple of more minutes to get that car ready. Another driver coming in here as well. So it looks like we're going to have 12 on the grid here now. He's just getting their car out as well. So kudos to race control here today at Brands Hatch, feeling very kind today. And you know what? Great weekend of feeling kind here on Mother's Day weekend. So fantastic stuff. We got ourselves a race on our hands today, and that means we got a bill coming to GTRC, because Com's booth is going to be missing a roof by the end of the day. We all know it. Alright, some fantastic stuff. Might be 10 with me in the lobby. How we all doing? I know we all want to get a race. It's all good. Whereabouts? Ooh, nice little power slide there by Devlin as he comes around. That's exactly what I'm talking about with these cars. They're spicy. But if you can control that spicy, it allows for a good lap time. Yeah. Alright. How are we doing? Just go silent all of a sudden? Whoa, what's going on there? Hey, a podium screen. How's it going? I'm not sure why that turned on. Computer's got a mind of its own here today, apparently. We're just doing a couple of things here. Alright. Apparently I'm not allowed to have star goal anymore. Nope, not allowed. Alright. I appreciate everybody and for all the support over the last couple 3-4 weeks here as well. GT45 Gaming. Of course we had the move transition. We had the page shut down for a while, but that didn't stop the amazing viewers and the amazing supporters back all over the world around our amazing planet here and at home to still show that support and still, well, keep everything moving nice and smooth. We do appreciate all that extra support too as well in our downtime. We're going to be getting back to a more aggressive schedule here now moving forward in the near future as well. So we'll be seeing a lot of each other here very, very soon, which is fantastic. So quality is starting now, it sounds like. Nope, don't check in. We just want to go check it out. Alright. So, it's going to be, looks like Doug Burrow coming around first, and it looks like we're officially on our hot laps here, so I'm too busy yakety schmacketing, and I wasn't paying attention. So let's stay with Doug here as he comes around Brands Hatch, so coming around, I believe that's Druid right there. I could be wrong. Nope, that's right. And then we have, I don't know what this corner is called. I can't remember. Maybe some of the viewers can refresh my memory for me a little bit, as I know lots of people know this track. From there we come into corner, I believe this is 4 or 5 that we call Cersei's. Interesting corner. Right about that white line is when you kind of want to start to get back onto the throttle. Ooh, a little spicy. And I think we might have lost the driver. I'm not sure what's going on there, but it is open qualifying session here at the Gran Turismo Racing Meet, so we don't use the in-lobby setting for qualifying here. This is a very high-speed corner. You're just kind of really lifting off the throttle, trying to catch that apex, and as soon as you can get back on the gas, you're on the gas. Right at this board right here, you're going to drop down a gear, just miss that apex, and just kind of let the car unload and back on the throttle. And that means just let it stabilize. So it's got all this momentum in one direction when we say unload. And when you try to force it, that typically starts to create wheel slide. The car wants to push out. But if you just let it naturally stabilize and just follow the natural physics of the car around the corner and just be patient with it, you'll actually get a better exit. So stabilization in racing is an important thing, and it doesn't matter what you're racing. If you can keep it stable and you can keep that tire squeal down to a minimal, it's going to relate to very good lap times. So here we go with Doug. It's going to be a 31 here as he comes around. Pigman's going to take pole position here from him. Let's see where Tap has as he comes around. It's going to be a P2 for Tap. Type R is going to stay in 4th. Jakey's going to move up into 4th. Let's see what Hair Razor's got. Hair Razor's going to jump up into 5th place. We've got Devlin here. And he's going to stay in 7th. Supra is going to jump up into 7th. We got Happy Pappy coming around here right now. Let's stick with Pappy as he's just coming around. I can't remember this name. Ooh, it is a little bit spicy, and he's going to go for a little pit stop here as he slides right on into pit lane there, coming around the final corner. So unfortunate there for him. Let's see where Mike ends up here as he comes around. It's going to be P9. Where is Brad? So we got Bo Snipe jumping up into 10th there, and he's just coming around. So let's catch that time from him. as he comes around. He hasn't put that time in. Ooh, P2 there from Bo Snipe. So we got Brad's here, and this is a guest driver here this evening. So welcome in to him. I've had the privilege to speak with this gentleman a little bit just recently, so it's nice to see him on the racetrack coming and showing some support out here today as well. So 12th place as he comes around, but I believe this is his actual first official lap he's putting in. And then we have Ash Motorsport, who is just gotten into the lobby, and boy, that looks like a great paint job. I can't wait to get a good look at that as he's coming around. So 13, almost a full grid here today. So fantastic stuff. This could be a great race. All right, so it's Piggums. He's our pole sitter here currently, and he's going to improve that lap. It's now a 1:30.439 is our pole time. That leaves Bo Snipe a little ways behind. Doug currently sitting here in third position. Let's see what Jakey's got as he comes around. He's sitting in fifth as they come around Paddock Hill Bend. And just a gaggle of cars here. We got the Marshmallow Man on the front of Taps. A Radical here, so fantastic. That is fantastic. I am loving this today. These guys are having some fun with these paint jobs on these Radicals. Kudos to the guys in the booths putting these things together and making these cars look so good on the racetrack. We got Supra in 8th place here, and he is right there, not trying to battle with Devlin, but two drivers sitting there here nice and close together in qualifying. That could relate to a better lap time if they helped each other out there. We got Pappy sitting here in 13th. We got Ash in 12th. So there's still Piggums sitting in pole position, but only by 0.4 of a second. So I do believe that Bo Snipe dipped into that pole time just a little bit last time around there. There we go. That's what you guys were probably looking for there. My apologies. All right, so Bo Snipe here, as we're just talking about him. We got the Ghostbusters car, Hair Raiser, here in 3rd place. So he improved quite a bit the last time around there. We got Dougie in 4th place here. Got Apex's Jakey in 5th. It's a multicolored Radical. A little bit of blue, a little bit of purple, some of it offsetting that pink in the sun there. Looks pretty good. Gotta like it, Stay Puffed from Tap there. We got a big Ghostbusters team rolling here. I love it. Moon Eyes Racing on the side of Type R's car here as he's coming around behind Hair Raiser. Doesn't seem to improve his time there. We got Mike here now in 8th place as well. Ash, let's stick with Ash here. We haven't been with Ash yet as he's coming around. He's still early in the lap, pardon me, as he's coming around Druid. It's a little bit wider maybe than he was looking for there out of Druid. It's just early apexing instead of late apexing it there. Maybe cost himself a little bit of time, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a commentator. Alright, so it's Ash Motorsport as he keeps ripping up the road. We're heading towards Cersei's here. You want to grab some apex or a little bit of a wide entry into there too, so he is up on his best lap over 33.7, so he is looking to do some improving here this time around. We're going to stick with it. We're going to stay on board with him here as he does this lap. And it's a very realistic, radical looking race design here. There are lots of stuff on that car. Looks good. Love the designs on the paint jobs on these cars here in this series. They're always a lot of fun. Oh yeah, that's always a little scary there when you're coming through there, but you know, it's risk versus reward. Risk versus reward. So it looks like a good lap coming here from Ash. We'll have to see as he comes through this last timing sector to see where he's at here. Nice tight corner there. You got a great exit out of there actually. So let's see how this relates to in time here. It's going to be a low 32, mid 32. It's going to be a 32.6, so a 1.1 second improvement there for Ash. And that's good enough to move him up into 9th place. So let's go take a look through the field here. Still Piggums in first. Jakey's now moved up into 2nd place just ahead of Bo Snipe. Bo Snipe still sitting in 3rd. That leaves Doug still sitting in 4th. Hair Raiser currently sitting in 5th place here in qualifying. We got Tap in 6th. We've got Mike in 7th. We've got Type R here in 8th position. We've got Ash now sitting in 9th after that great lap we just watched there from him. We got Supra here in 10th place, and a little bit wobbly there's that Shell V-Power Radicals coming down the hill. Devlin here in that Lotus looking one. We've got Brad's here, and just that nice, beautiful, simple yellow Radical, just chilling, doing his thing. Little carbon fiber and look on the hood there. And then we got Mr. Happy Pappy. You know where Happy Pappy is on the racetrack. You cannot miss those cars, that is for sure. But hey, I'm a fan of the green, so I'm diggy down with it, as the great D.90 would say. Diggy down. All right, 130.3 there from Piggums. So yeah, still improving, and now he's heating those tires up. I think he's really going to go and try and send one this next time around, as he's probably got one more crack at it here. Like I said, I believe it's going to be 6 hot laps for qualifying here today, and it looks like that is the case. So let's just see. If he parks it at the end of the corner here, then that will be an incorrect assessment. Nope, I was correct. It is the final lap here. So Piggums, our pole sitter, and let's sit on board with Piggums here as he comes around in, heading into turn 2, Druids here, and just looking for a late apex before you get on the throttle. So right about where the curbing looks like it hasn't been touched by tires yet, essentially, is your late apex. He's up just a little bit here, mid-curb, just to get that car to, well, rotate like you see Piggums do there. And you got to really be confident on the throttle going over that curbing. And then here you do want to rotate nice and tight, back on the power right at about that little white line you see in front of the car there, and then just power through, of course, controlling that throttle. Make sure you don't go wide. You don't want to get into that grass. You don't want to get any dirt on those racing tires, because that makes them a little bit slippery. All right, so we're heading into the sweeper. I can't remember what this corner is called. I am very, very shaky here on Brands Hatch turn names today. Oh, we got a car off here from Brad's there, but great recognition from Brad's to realize that he had guys hot on a flying lap here coming in. Ooh, behind it, a big slide there from Piggums as he comes out of the corner there, and he is up, well, 1.23 seconds, 0.123 seconds. That's pretty awesome. So he's just got a couple of turns left here. Well, one very long turn, I guess, essentially, and then a little kink into the start-finish line. So let's see. He was purple before he came into the final corner here. It's a 130.3, and it is an improvement. It's a 130.099 from Piggums there, and that's going to be the end of his qualifying run here today. Looks like Doug's finished up here as well. He's sitting currently in 2nd place there. Jakey here sitting in P3 as well. We got Bo Snipe in 4th. We've got Hair Razor in 5th. Tap in 6th. We've got Mike. He is still flying, so let's stick with Mike here as he comes around now and see if he can find any more positions up in the grid here on his final lap. No, he's going to sit in 7th place, and I think that's it for our flyers here. Oh, we got Brad's still on a flyer, it looks like, so let's stick with Brad's here. He's currently sitting in 11th position, and I think Ash has been having some connection issues here, I think is what we're seeing. So we'll have to see if he can make the race or not. Alright, so on board with Brad's here, the bright yellow radical on the track here today. We're going to see if he can improve his time around the track here a little bit and move himself up the grid on his final flying lap here. Alright, I apologize if you guys can hear the fans. I think we need to put one more noise cancellation filter in. I'm just really surrounded by a lot of hot running equipment at the moment. It was not an improvement. That might have been the lap that we seen him pull off for Piggums and the other driver up ahead of Piggums there, and I believe that is now it. Yes. Alright, so we'll have to see if Ash comes back into the lobby or not here yet, and then we're going to fire this race off. So hope everybody's ready. Definitely go refresh those bevies, grab some snacks, and get settled in for an hour-long race here around Brands Hatch with our radicals from the Gran Turismo racing community here today. So as soon as we get kicked over into the official lineup on the grid, we will flip you over to the full screen, and we'll get this thing rocking and rolling. Give me a little time to slam some coffee down the old throat here, since the amazing volunteers here at Brands Hatch, always so kind to us commentators, making sure that we have lots of fluids for our, well, vocals, so we can continue to bring all the amazing action to the viewers at home. So much love to all the volunteers behind the scenes that make this happen every single time there's a competition on the racetrack. And even when there's not a competition on the racetrack, these volunteers are here making sure that the track is up and ready to go for the next one that is coming to the circuit. So Radical's here today at Brands Hatch, and should be a doozy. You can see Super is just burning off some tire there as he's having a little fun around Paddock Hill Bend here as we get ready to send the racing off. And all the drivers looking for a little camera shot action here. Hold on, Jake. Sit there. Hold on, Jake. Hold on, Jake. Just try to get a good picture. Trying to get a good picture. Alright, drivers are readying up there, as you can see on the... you may or may not be able to see it, obviously, in such a small screen there, but the drivers just letting everybody know, letting race control know that everything is A-OK and we're ready to go. Whoa, a little lag there, that was interesting. Alright, here we go. Let's get you to the good stuff. Let's take you to the big screen, shall we? Hey, what's up, everybody? How we all doing? That shouldn't be on. Not during this part. Not during this part. Alright, I gotta find it. Boop. There we go. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all the amazing moms out there, of course, most importantly this weekend, kick them tires, light them fires, let's go racing. And here we go, information on screen for you here this evening. We're letting you see it all. And it just picks off in a very quick hole shot start here from pole. We're going to go 3 wide down Paddock Hill Bend here as Jakey and Bo Snipe looking for quick position. Bo Snipe does move up into second place and going into Druids. Jakey is going to move up into third place. So Doug very quickly dropping down a couple spots. Now Hair Raiser and the Ghostbusters car is looking to put some pressure, but that's going to put him on the inside coming into turn 3 here. And he's just going to back out. So everybody kind of settling in here into line very quickly around Brands Hatch. And well, we kind of got to do that here around this very difficult racetrack. So everybody's just sorting themselves out here on lap 1 like we expect to see. Pickham's in the lead as Bo Snipe here sitting in second. As Jakey in third place. We got Doug in fourth at Hair Raiser giving him a little nudge here to help him along the way. In fifth place, there's going to be lots of slipstreaming here today. We got Mike in sixth place. We've got Supra in seventh. We've got Tap here in eighth. We've got Type R in ninth. We've got Devlin in 10th place currently. We got Brad here in 11th and Happy Pappy here in 12th place. All right. And we're racing. Let's do it. Let's get it on. Red Bull leading the way here. Mr. Piggums as they come around. But boy, he has a nice little podium gaggle of cars right in behind him here. There with Bo Snipe and Apex Racing's Jakey. So let's jump on forward. Oop, wrong button with Bo Snipe here. Let's have a little look-sees at what Bo Snipe's dealing with here right now. So this is what he can see, that is out the mirrors of these Radicals. They don't have a review mirror here, obviously, because you can see they're an open window class car. So they really are relying on those side mirrors here on these race cars. So that is what he sees right now, as he knows Jakey is there. But, ooh, maybe a little bit of contact there between the two. Maybe he didn't see Jakey there. But again, that is what the drivers have to see as far as what is going on around them. That is it. So difficult task here from these racers as Bo Snipe is trying to maintain pace with the leader, but trying to hold off the charge of Jakey in behind here as well. Let's move to our fourth place driver, Doug Barrow here. He lost a couple of quick positions early on in the race here, but settling in behind these podium drivers here. And this is kind of what his vantage point looks like right now, as he's just trying to keep pace with these guys a little bit here. Hair Racers dropped off just a little bit in behind Doug here, so he's got a little bit of breathing room as they settle into this very young race here for an hour today, everybody at home. So it is a Doug Barrow now coming around, and looks like he got a pretty decent run through there but the good pace of the front three here is going to make it difficult to catch up. But as if or when they do start the battle is more of the question. If he stays close enough, that will leave him an opportunity to poke his nose in that fight for position there. And you can see he gains a little bit there. One of the braking markers already on the racetrack there. That might make it a little difficult for some of our drivers here. Let's get back out to our TV crews here and let them do what they do and bring that action to us here as it's Pigham's coming around Paddock Hill Bend here to start. Sorry, the final corner here just to finish lap 2 to start lap 3 is what I meant to say there. And here we go, lap 3, and he, of course, the fastest man on the racetrack right now is actually Doug Burrow with a 130.78 as they come across the line here on lap 2. Bo Snipe in second, Jakey in third. Ooh, Doug a little slide there, but he has definitely closed up on that front group that time around. Hair Raiser, he's kind of right there now too. He was about the same distance that Doug was just a lap ago. So some close, tight racing here so far. We got Tap here in 6th place. We got Supra in 7th. We've got Type R. Oof, that is one shiny paint job on that car. Here in 8th place, is just glimmering in that sun. We've got Devlin here in 9th. We've got Mike down into 10th. So dropping a couple spots here somewhere along the way. Pappy's in 11th and Brad's is in 12th. All right, so like I said, some of these are registered full-time drivers and some are guest drivers here this evening in the race. So welcome to all the drivers, and should be a spirited battle nonetheless. So it is Pigham still leading the way here. It's both Snipe in second, and Jakey is just tucked right up in underneath the tail of that Radical second place driver here right now. Maybe they're working together right now a little bit, but at what point does Jakey figure that he might have pace on the second place driver and attempt to make a move, or is he just going to see if Bo makes a mistake and see if Jakey can take advantage? It looks like he might be setting up for a cutback here, but this is a tough corner to get it done in. And he's just going to settle in, so no immediate intentions to make a move here. And here we go, he's going to look up the inside, and there we go, side-by-side battle coming through the final core. This is for second and third place, and now Doug is like, ooh, yes, 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 fight, boys, fight. And Jakey's not going to get the position, and Doug's going to try and take advantage. He's going to actually move up into P3, and we're almost 3 wide coming into Paddock Hill Bend here. And ooh, and a little bit of contact there between Doug and Bo Snipe. Both cars keep it on the racetrack there. Doug backs off, gives the position back, and now Jakey's back in the fight for that podium position here. So that was a fun little series of events as things got a little bit exciting there as Doug just locked it up coming into the corner and getting into the side of Bo Snipe there. But both drivers doing a great job of keeping it together, and Jakey just in behind reacting just in the nick of time there not to get collected up in the incident as well. And all 3 of these drivers are still fighting for the positions heading into Xerxes. Jakey took a look, but Doug cuts off the line. Ooh, and a little slide there from Doug as he comes up out of the exit. Let's get on this battle here with these 2 drivers. Let's jump on our hood cam view here from Doug Barrow's car, our third place driver, and Jakey just starting to settle back in here. So the drivers have calmed down just for a second. They're taking a deep breath, and Jakey's right back at it. And here we go, taking a look up the inside, gets a good run, and ooh-wee. That is a tough corner to go side by side there. Doug's going to hold the corner off, so Jakey's going to try it again, but you can see what this is doing. Hair Raiser's now right tucked up in behind Jakey, and Tap is just off in the distance in behind Hair Raiser here, looking to try and get a position as well. So some spicy racing happening here so far, and this is just at lap 4. So here we go, we got Hair Raiser tucked in behind Jakey now as well. Let's get up there with our 4th and 5th place drivers, Jakey and Hair Raiser here now. So as these drivers battle and sort themselves out during those battles, is creating new battles on the racetrack. So it is going to be an interesting race here today, that's for sure. Tire wear will factor in. Fuel at some point should factor into the race, I do believe. I'm not 100% sure. I am just speculating. So let's go through a field, see where everybody's at here. Again, we got Pigham still in the lead, 2.2 seconds up the road from Bo Snipe right now in second place, with a little bit of battling happening behind him right there for that podium position, that final podium position. He's getting just a little bit of time. Jakey going wide coming through turn 3 there, and he manages to get it back together and on track safely, but he's going to have some dirty tires heading into Xerxes here now, as that's going to allow Doug to open up that gap a little bit, and it's going to allow Hair Raiser to get side by side with Jakey here, of course, having to account for some slipperier tire conditions after going off track there. So Hair Raiser on the outside here, can he hold the position? It's going to be side by side through here, and here we go, battle on between Jakey and Hair Raiser here, and Jakey had the inside line there, so he actually gets the job done coming out of the corner. Defense held for the time being, and 4th place still does remain in Jakey's hands, but boy oh boy, there's 2 cars under pressure now, so battle re-engaged here between 4th, 5th, and 6th place now, and boy oh boy, this is some good racing happening here today from these group of drivers on the racetrack. We got a little battle happening here between Type R and Mike now developing in 8th and 9th place as well. We got Devlin here in 10th, we got Pappy, and Brad's is starting to close back in on Pappy a little bit here as well, so let's get back into this 3-way pack here and see what's going down. As Jakey's opening up just a small little gap, but the slipstream is still definitely there, so for the time being, these 3 playing nice. Let's get down to our 9th and 8th place drivers here, Type R and Mike. So let's see how these guys, let's see if they're just working together here, or if there is maybe an impending battle coming here. We'll stick with these drivers just for a couple of minutes and see what's shaking. Got Sarah coming in with the heart on the stream, Paul coming in with a heart on the stream as well. Appreciate y'all. Hope you're all having a fantastic Mother's Day weekend. I really hope you're enjoying that time with those loved ones, whether you're a mom yourself or you just have a mom that you like to say, hey, I love you, I appreciate you. But we do appreciate everybody stopping in and showing that quick support here on the stream today as well. So it is Devlin here in 10th place and doing a pretty good job here so far. And we got Brad who's just gotten around Happy Pappy here. So a healthy little battle even in the end of the pack here as well between these 2 drivers. So that's fantastic to see. And Bigham's just chilling right now, 3.3 seconds up the road in the lead. Bo Snipe here trying to catch him, but Doug Barrow's caught up to Bo Snipe here as they come around the second last corner of the racetrack here. So Doug's starting to put a little bit of pressure on our 2nd place driver. We got Jakey here in P4, and he's got a little bit of a gap there now, 2.8 seconds. So he's got to settle back into the rhythm here, start getting some lap times put down, and try to see if he can find some time back up on that group in front. Heavy battling at the beginning of the race, tire management, fuel management, all these things factoring in. This just maybe strategy from some of these drivers here now. Maybe they realize they may have overused a little bit on the car at the beginning of the race, and they're just chilling right now, making sure that they keep the strategy in play that they may have in their minds. There's a lot of things that can be going on the racetrack. The Marshmallow Man and the Ghostbuster cars getting pretty close together here with 5th place and 6th place, Hair Razor and Tap as well. Super here in 7th place, starting to close up on those 2 drivers up in front here as well. Mike's still in 8th. Now he's been able to hold Type R off for the time being, tied a little bit of a gap there, and Devlin catching up to those 2 drivers up in front. And Happy Pappy now in 11th, and Brad's here in 12th. So yeah, healthy little battle here. I'm loving it. This is some good racing today. Pickham's just chilling. Like I said, 3.3 seconds there. That's not a cozy lead. I mean, it's a little mistake like we almost saw right there from Pickham's, and that could change the race. Bo could be right back on him, could get a position from him. Depends on the severity of the mistake and the outcome of that mistake, I suppose. But yeah, Pickham's very fortunate there as he comes around, and to start lap 8, these guys are moving and cruising pretty good here. We got Bo Snipe in 2nd, we got Doug in 3rd, we've got Jakey here in 4th. He closed a big gap up there. He's taking about 3/4 of a second out of those guys up in front that time around. Hair Razor is still right there with him as well, so Hair Razor's also gained that time. Tap is starting to see some pressure from Super here. Supra's in that slipstream now, so the Stay Puffed car here is under pressure from that Shell V-Power Radical on the racetrack here today. I love these paint jobs on these cars. Absolutely fantastic stuff from these drivers. Ooh, big power slide as Tap comes around that corner. You can see that gain Super's going to get there. Now he's not going to get the inside position coming into Druids there. So that was a pretty good recovery there by Tap. But that was a big slide coming around Paddock Hill Bend right there. And that's his, well, how can VPR's Soul Invictus say 9,999 drift points right there for Tap here at the race here. Perhaps Hatch and Super makes a great move there, battling for this position as they head into third season. Oh boy, getting on that curb, and there we go, a little unsettled, and that's what I was kind of thinking we were going to see there. So let's go relive that battle here for a moment. So great pass here by Super as we're coming out of Druids heading into turn 3. I cannot remember what this corner is called. And he just gets a good run there, takes it up the inside, so getting set up for third season. Inside position, not necessarily the best position around this corner. It depends how you approach it here. A little bit of extra curb comes right there from Super. Unsettled that car a little bit. Maybe a little help there from Tap by accident as that curb unsettled his car. And both drivers make it safe and sound. So at the end of the day, great healthy battle by these two right now. And Super now up in the 6th place. So let's go see what's happening here around our racetrack. and not too much has changed up front here currently. Closing up each other a little bit here, so now these two kind of trying to do the same thing. Mike's still sitting in 8th, Type R still sitting in 9th, Devlin is sitting in 10th here currently, and Happy Pappy and Brad's right here within battling distance, still just 1 point, a little over 1 second here, so love it. Got racing all through the field here today. We like that. So the racers. The racers love racing and battling. So no matter where it is in the field you are, what your skill level is, if you got somebody to race against and fight with during the race, it just makes it that much more fun. And Doug with a big slide right there. Let's go check that out as we comes. Again, we were talking about this earlier in the broadcast. That curb on the exit of turn 3 here, you got to really be careful with it. And there's a prime example, and that was a great recovery right there by Doug Burrow in that radical in 3rd place. So really could have cost him some position, as Jakey Hairraiser is right there in Supra, and Tap are not too far behind these drivers either. So could have potentially cost him multiple positions there, but he gathered that race car up in absolutely spectacular fashion and keeps it underneath of him. So a good save there by Doug Barrow, and right now the save of the day from what I've seen so far here on the racetrack. But a healthy battle between 11th and 12th place drivers, Brad's and Pappy now, and a little spicy there coming onto that curb, and I'm liking this. We got some great battling happening all through the racetrack here. 3.7 seconds is our leader, Piggums, and he's in control of this race here, so he is cruising right now. We've got Bo Snipe here in P2, and still feeling the pressure from Doug Burrow, so even after that big slide, Doug Burrow's still on the charge here, and taking a little bit of a look up coming into the Paddock Hill bend, but just not close enough to stick the nose in there and get a job done. So just slots in behind Bo Snipe here, and he gets ready to make an opportunity to try and get a move done. Let's see if he can do it here as we're coming out of Druids, and see if you can gain some position, maybe heading into turn 4 Searchies, or maybe up into the... Ooh, and there we go. There it is. A little bit of trackage from Bo Snipe. Big slide, and this is going to be what Doug needed to get around him here, and this is going to be a switch in position here for P2. So, super unfortunate there for Bo Snipe, as he had what looked to be a great line, but we told you, all you got to do is catch a little grass in these cars, and that's all it takes. And that was just a very small touch in the grass and sliding it around that corner. So our second driver here today getting up those 10,000 drift points here in the race, and he is going to lose that second place position due to that, but he is, again, gathers that car back up. Ooh, and Jakey off track in behind here now as well. So boy, oh boy, it just goes to show how spicy these cars really are and how tough this racetrack is. So all the drivers having some moments here with these radicals. Tap still sitting in 6th place now. Sorry, has gotten back around Super at this point now in 6th place. Super dropping back down to 7th. We got Mike still sitting in 8th. In behind these drivers by about 11 seconds. Type R is about 3 seconds in behind him, with Devlin chilling right now 5 seconds in behind Type R. We've got Pappy here in 11th place, and Brad is still right there in behind in 12th. So fantastic stuff. Whew. All right, it's getting heaty in here. These guys are providing some pretty great racing today, I gotta say. All right, we're just checking on everything one last time here before we get too distracted. Couldn't wait to race tonight. Shame I had internet issues. Gonna focus on next week. We appreciate you, Ash. We'll try to. We do a pretty good job of finding workarounds for drivers, so just stick with the community and just keep working with the admin staff here. Ooh, big slide again from Doug, and we'll make sure we do everything we can to get the best connection for you to race. Got Bo Snipe here in 3rd place, and he almost got to take advantage of a similar mistake made by Doug in the same corner there. Jakey on our tear right now. He's on a purple sector here. Let's stick on board with Jakey as wrong button, as we are on the straight heading into this very long sweeping right hand corner. He is almost 0.3 of a second up on that fastest lap currently on the racetrack here, so we're going to stick with this driver as he continues that charge for fastest lap currently on the racetrack on lap 11. Oh, he's only now blue there, so he lost a little bit of time there through that last sequence of corners. So let's see if he can make it back up. He's not that far off still. He was only about less than a 1/10 off heading into this final corner, so it's going to really come down to the exit, entry and exit here to see if he's going to grab that lap. It's a 30.134, and it is going to be close, and it's a 30.149. He misses it by less than 0.02 of a second there, so great charge there by Apex Racing's Jakey on that fastest lap there, but just missing out by a whisker. as Pigham's still holding down that fastest lap here on the racetrack. Doug with a half-second track limit penalty here, and that is going to hurt the charge from Bo Snipe. So Bo Snipe is, well, going to be glad to see that happen, as he is going to have to serve that penalty after entering the final corner, I believe, is where that penalty is served here on Brad's Hatch. Jakey's starting to reel Bo Snipe in a little bit here. He's in the slipstream now at this point, so it's just a matter of time before he locks into the tail of that third place driver up in front of him. Hair Raiser here in fifth place with the Ghostbuster car. He's doing a pretty good job right now, but 2.2 seconds in behind Jakey, so just lost a little bit of pace on that driver here recently, and I believe we just seen a switch for position there as Jakey has gotten around Bo Snipe. So let's take another look at that here, and got just enough replay left in us here to see everything happen there. So again, just a little slide there from Bo Snipe, and those slides are costing drivers a little bit of speed, momentum, and time. And you can see Jakey just gets it done up the inside, I believe, coming in. I can't remember what those corners are called. Coming around the double apex kinks of death, I like to call them, as Jakey comes into pit lane there. Pigham stays around, Doug stays out. Bo's going to take that third place back. Jakey's popping into pit lane. We got Super here. Ooh, he's getting it wrong coming out of the corner there, and he does a great job of not spinning the car, but again, he's going to lose a ton of momentum. He's going to have some dirty tires as he heads up into Paddock Hill Bend here, and it's going to be difficult for him to hold that corner the way he'd like to. And also seeing some pressure from in behind from Tap and Jakey now just coming out of pit lane in behind him there. So he does manage to hold the position for the time being, but close moments here from some of these drivers. Mike's sitting in 8th. We got Type R in 9th. We got Devil is still in 10th place here. Pappy here in 11th, and Brad's is just tucked right in behind here. Let's stick with these two for a moment as they continue their charge up the racetrack. And woo, both of them going just a little bit wide there. Both of them doing a great job of gathering that race car up as well. So here we go. Nose to tail racing here for GTRC out of these radicals today, all through the field. So it's fantastic stuff. Lots of little battles happening all over the place. And Brad's just doesn't quite get the run that Pappy gets out of the corner here, and he's just going to stay tucked right up in behind. So some great racing happening here so far. Got Pigham's in P1 and 4.5 seconds now, so extending that lead a little bit more here, but at some point we're going to see drivers making pit stops here, I'm sure. We got Doug in 2nd place. We got Bo here now in 3rd, and Hair Raiser's not quite in that slipstream of the 3rd place driver, but he is definitely closing up. You need to be probably within about 3/4 of a second, so 0.750 seconds for these cars to start grabbing a little bit of that free air, so to speak, and close in on that driver's extra wind that he leaves behind his race car. So interesting to see how it's going to play out. Got Super coming into pit lane, so that's going to put Jakey up in the charge. He's now tucked up in behind Tap here, so we're going to sit on board with this as they come through Paddock Hill Bend. And woo, great run out of Paddock Hill Bend from Jakey there, and he's going to look up the inside heading into Druids. He's going to go in a little bit late on the brakes, but so does Tap. And ooh, Tap goes a little bit deep there, and Jakey gets the job done. Nice and neat and tidy there from Apex Racing's Jakey here to get back up into 5th place now here in the race on lap 14. So great racing happening everywhere we look. We got Mike here, and he's in a good spot. He's in no man's land. He can just cruise right now and race. He doesn't have to worry about any immediate pressure, and that could work out good for him at the end of the day. Supra and Type R here now battling in 8th and 9th place. So juicy happen. It doesn't matter where we look. Everywhere we look, somebody is close to somebody. There's something happening on the racetrack. So we'll stick with this here for a moment. We do have a couple drivers real tucked up close together. I believe that might be our 3rd and 4th place drivers. And I think we better go take a look and see what we see here, as these two are very, very close together. And we do have another group very close together towards, I think, the back of the pack as well. So, yeah, it's getting good. It's getting good. All right, so Bo Snipe currently sitting in 3rd place. He's got that final podium position for the time being, but right now it is Hair Raiser making a charge, trying to get that position from Bo Snipe. And as they come down through Paddock Hill Bend and heading into Druids here, it is a battle. Hair Raiser closing up bit by bit, corner by corner here. So let's see if he's got what it takes to get around. We got Paymate coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. Hope you're doing well, my guy. All right. Alright, here we go. Coming around Cersei's. Hair Razor takes a little bit of a wide entry, trying to get a nice good run out of there, and he may have gotten a little bit of a wiggle there from Bow Snipe as well. So Hair Razor got to get the run on Bow Snipe here, and he's going to take a look up the inside here and get the job done. He does take a look. Can he get the position? And no, Bow Snipe is just going to send that thing around the corner. He's going to be like, you're going to have to do better than that, Hair Razor. So Hair Razor's going to slot right back in behind here in 4th place, in behind Bow Snipe. But the pressure is most certainly on here from Hair Razor to Bow Snipe for 3rd and 4th position. Very similar lines from these two drivers, very similar pace as well. So I think this is going to be a great battle moving forward between these two drivers. We'll have to see how the pit stop strategy starts to play in here. Piggums has opted to go around again here on lap 16. We got Doug, he's going to go around again as well on lap 16. We got Bows going around, we got Hair Razor going around. Jakey made an early pit stop here, so a little bit of strategy coming from this driver here in 5th place. He's only 10 seconds in behind that lead pack here as well. Tap here in 6th place. We just see the great battle between him and Jakey, and Jakey just absolutely so decisive on his move. Got a great run, made it happen, and he just continues on down the racetrack. Mike here in 7th place, and he's maintaining exactly that gap to Tap here right now too. So just showing some great consistency there as that driver. We got Type R here in 9th place, and him and Super were looking like they were going to have a battle there, but the gap has opened up a little bit here on those two drivers. Happy Pappy and Devlin battling here for 10th and 11th place, and ooh, we got us a juicy battle happening here. A little bit of neck coating happening there. I don't think there was contact there, but there might have been contact there. I don't know. But great battle between these drivers. Oh, Pappy goes a little bit wide, but he does a great job to gather that car up there, and he's going to continue trying to charge. But Devlin, of course, going to just open up a little gap there with that little mistake from Pappy. So there's some healthy battling happening here on the racetrack, and a pit stop made by Brad's there, sitting in 12th position. Hey, let's go, says Payman. How you doing, brother? Hope you're having a fantastic weekend and a great day as well. Yeah, we're just checking on all the streams. We're just making sure everything's working all purdy like it should. Everything does seem to be pretty good. So our race leader coming in pit lane here. Hair Razor's opting to go around one more time, so he's going to assume the race lead. So our first lead change of the day does belong to Hair Razor here, and it's going to be our 2nd race leader of the day. Of course, our pole sitter Piggums has been in the lead since the beginning of the race. I was going to put Jakey up into 2nd place, 10 seconds in behind Hair Razor. Piggums is going to come out just in behind Jakey here in 3rd place. Tap's going to come around in 4th. Doug's going to come out in behind Tap here in 5th. So Doug's going to have a car in between him and Piggums there. Bow Snipe's going to come out in behind Doug there in 6th place. Mike is on has not stopped yet, maybe, is what it looks like, here in 7th. We've got Type R now ahead of Supra, so Supra must have made a mistake here somewhere, and Type R is taking advantage, so Type R is now up in 8th place, with Supra in 9th, very close in behind. We got Pappy now up in 10th place. We've got Devlin here in 11th, and we've got Brad's, in 12th place, and he is starting to close back up on the pack after that pit stop. So some of these drivers still have to pitch yet, so that is going to change, of course, the positioning of the grid. Our current race leader, of course, is one of those drivers that is going to have to make at least one stop yet here today, and I'm assuming we're probably going to see it pretty quick, because you guys, well, you all can see what I can see there at home. You can see what the fuel and the tire situation is looking like here on this race car, and I'm definitely assuming that we're probably seeing him coming in this time around. He's keeping a nice tight corner there, so that is most certainly the case. That means Jakey's probably going to take the race lead here as he comes around now. So this is going to be our 2nd lead change of the day here in this Radical Super Cup Round 3, and it is going to belong to Apex Sim Racing's Jakey, now taking the lead of this race. So 3rd race leader here today, and he is just coming up in behind Brad's there, sitting in 12th place. Piggum still on the chase here, 5 seconds in behind Jakey. Tap here in 3rd now, Doug in 4th. We've got Bo in 5th. Hair Razor here in 6th place. We've got Mike coming into pit lane now. Supra has made an early pit stop. Type R is probably going to be pitting this time around or next time around by the looks of it for fuel. He's going to go around one more time here yet. We're hitting the wrong button. There we go. It's going to be Pappy here, sitting in 10th place, and he has a little bit of fuel to work with here yet. Devlin is on a fresh set of tires and a fresh tank of fuel, and much of the same here for Brad's. But now, 11 seconds. So interesting to see. Jakey's just got, ooh, and Brad's got a little bit wrong there. Can he keep it out of the wall? Ooh, that was a scary one there. And a little bit of overspeed maybe just as he grabbed some slipstream from our race leader there. And just missing that braking point a little bit. So it's tense moments there for Brad's as he's in his first radical race here this season, which is fantastic to see. We've got Piggums in second place. And ooh, we see it again. That's again, maybe a little bit of a slipstream miscalculation there from Brad. So he's just getting out of the way for the blue flag situation maybe as well. But oof, 2 quarters in a row, some dirty tires of course as well. So of course these leagues and these races here at the Gran Turismo racing community are for drivers of all skill levels, even if you're just learning. And it's a good way to develop your skills and your craft and your pace. You can do it in a much friendlier environment with people that are willing to help and learn and teach. And at the end of the day, for everybody out there who's thinking about sim racing or league racing, you know, it's practice time, it's seat time, it's experience. You're going to make mistakes. Things are going to happen. That's the way it goes. It's racing. That's why, you know, leagues have processes like stewarding and officiating and behind the scenes to make sure that, you know, those basic rules of racing are met. So, you know, all you got to do is come in and give it your best and give it your all and try your hardest. And then what happens, happens. And then you just, you know, you take those experiences, you learn what you can from them, and you add that into your practicing and your driving, and next thing you know, it just starts to come to you naturally, and bada bing, bada boom, you're a league racer, just like that. So a little bit of patience and a little bit of time, and you get to come and have a much more friendlier environment of racing, have a much more cleaner aspect of racing. It's a different kind of respect here in league racing, whether it's GTRC or any league as far as that goes. It's just a organized way to have some fun with our buddies, and of course new faces as well. It's a great way to meet people and build relationships with people as well. So yeah, seeing that today, we got a few guest drivers in the field here today, and they're doing quite well for themselves. And I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what the pace of those drivers may be, they're getting very valuable seat time here today, and that information and that experience that every one of these driver gains every lap around these racetracks is, at the end of the day, completely priceless. You can't put a price on it. Experience is, well, one of the keys to success in anything we do in life. So in order to gain that experience, you got to put the work in, you got to put the time in. So just seeing the drivers on the track, and even if they're just checking it out and feeling it out, you know, that's putting the work in and that's putting the time in. So and just learning absolutely huge amounts of information every time you take one of these races on. It's absolutely fantastic stuff to see and fun to watch. Drivers separated a little bit here. We had some spicy battling happening here in the first half of the race, and the pit sequences kind of spread the field out a bit here. So we'll have to see if that changes a little bit. I see a couple drivers are going to be owing some pit stops here yet, so it's going to be interesting to see. We got our current race leader, Jakey, sitting in behind our 11th place driver, I believe that is, Devlin. And this is a blue flag situation, so at some point here, Jakey will navigate his way around this driver. We always love watching this, of course. It adds some, ooh, Jakey almost going a little bit wide coming around the final corner there. And, you know, maybe just chilling behind the Devlin right now, saving a little bit of fuel, just kind of waiting for a nice, good, easy moment to get around here. He's just chilling right now, but the gap is starting to come down. So you do know that, of course, he is going to be monitoring that 5-second gap between him and Piggums right now. Piggums had an almost 5-second race lead when he finally did decide to make that pit stop. So a great job there by Devlin to get out of the way, not really lose anybody any time, and Jakey continues on up the road there, but 4.4 seconds now is that gap. Piggums here chasing. He's got 5 seconds on third place driver Doug Barrow as well. So Piggums is chasing Jakey currently to try and get the lead of the race back from that driver. Bo Snipe here is in fourth place, 5.8 seconds from Doug. And now we're starting to see a little bit of action happening here. We've got Hair Raiser in 5th place, just 1.3 seconds in behind. So that should hopefully drew into a nice little battle. These two have had pretty similar pace all day long. They've had some good battles already as well on the track. We got Tap in 6th, Super here in 7th, got Mike in 8th. Some of these drivers starting to spread out a little bit. We got Type R there. We've got Devlin there in 10th. So that was our 10th place driver. We just seen Jakey go around there. We got Pappy at 11th. And you can see Pappy's just tucked in behind Hair Raiser and Bo Snipe there. We got our new driver Brad's here on track as well in 12th place, doing a pretty good job here today. So I think he might have just jumped in absolute last minute, completely no practice as well. So GG's to him, man. He's doing fantastic out there. But Jakey is leading this thing right now, and he's got that gap back to about 5.1, 5.2 seconds. So like I said, just trying to maintain a gap here right now on Pigham's. Pigham's gap is dwindling slightly to Doug Barrow here in 3rd place, but when you have drivers that are so closely paced like Jake and Pigham's, Doug Barrow, Bo Snipe, Hair Raiser, Tap, it's hard to make that time back up on that driver. So when they do finally manage to open up a little bit of a time gap, it's a lot of give and take tenths of seconds between these drivers. So it's tough. It's a tough grind. It's a tough battle, and you really got to work to try and catch drivers that are exactly on your pace, or maybe just a little quicker, just a little slower, right in that same realm as you are. But it makes for some exciting racing to watch it all go down. And this is the case between Hair Raiser and Bo Snipe here. The pace between these two drivers for our 3rd round here this weekend has been very, very close between these two, and it's providing for pretty good racing between these two as well, as you can see it right now. Nose to tail here in 5th to 4th place. They got a little bit of a gap. It's a solid, I believe, 6 seconds. Almost 8 seconds to Doug Barrow here currently right now. So I guess it's kind of a decision of, do we battle or do we work together and maybe gain a few extra tenths around the racetrack over the next, maybe 8-9 laps. And hopefully we're within shot of maybe making something happen, or are we going to see these two battle for position? And I think we're just seeing a little bit of a group effort between these two drivers here. Hair Raiser is just kind of dipping that nose in for some clean air to make sure he can get the corner right, and then just settling right back in behind Bo Snipe as they come around. So it looks like he wants to make a move because he's moving that car in that kind of a direction, but in reality he's just trying to get some nice clean fresh air in the front end of that race car to keep the car planted on the road to make the corner at speed that he wants to make it at. So doing a great job here right now as Hair Raiser. In behind Bo Snipe, and a little bit of cooperation from those two drivers. So we'll have to keep our eye on that and see if that gap starts to come down from 3rd place driver Doug Barrow or not. But it's 2.7 seconds now between Jakey and Pigham's, so something happened there. And yeah, Pigham's can easily see Jakey just up ahead of him there now. Doug is still 5.3 seconds from Pigham, so nothing's really changed there. So the pace hasn't changed too much. Just something. Jakey obviously made a little mistake there. It's cost him a couple seconds on the racetrack. It's Cody B coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. My guy, how are you doing here today? All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. So it is Bo Snipe here in 4th place. It's Hair Raiser here in 5th place. Ooh, and there we go. The helicopter is up in action here now at Brands Hatch. That was a great shot from our helicopter camera right there, as they got a great overtop view of that Ghostbusters radical. Still applying some pressure here to Bo Snipe, but again, I do believe that these two right now are working together more than they're trying to fight. But they aren't gaining on Doug Barrow up in front. It was 7.5 seconds last time around. It's 7.7 seconds here right now. So at some point, when does Hair Raiser maybe make a decision to try and get a move done on Bo Snipe here? And it might be right here, right now, as it looks like he's going to go up the inside of Bo Snipe, coming into Paddock Hill Bend. Let's see what happens here. The room is given. Great respect between the two drivers. Great exit by Bo Snipe there. And Hair Raiser still side by side with Bo Snipe as we head into turn 2 Druids here. And Hair Raiser's going to get a good run. And it looks like Bo Snipe's just going to succeed the position to Hair Raiser right there. Just a little bit of a smart play from Bo Snipe there, as he doesn't want to cost any unnecessary time. And Hair Raiser's going to move himself up into 4th place now. And that cost him half a second right there on 3rd place driver Doug Barrow. Just that tiny little friendly battle between drivers. So hope you're well on this fine Saturday, brother. I am fantastic. I hope you are as well, my dude. It's Cody B Gaming over on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely got to go say hi to him when you see him live. We got Jake in first place here right now. Ooh, 2.8 seconds. A little slide as he comes around the corner there. And Piggums is in behind Type R here. So Type R was just waiting to get around the corner so we can get out of the way of that second place driver. And Piggums is going to move up the road here. So it doesn't look like it really cost him too much time there. Doug Barrow here in third place. And he's just gotten around our 10th place driver, Devlin, as well. So 5.7 seconds, just maintaining the gap right now is Doug from Piggums up in second place. Hair Razor here now starting to dip into Doug's time a little bit here. He's knocked a couple tenths off, so big slide coming around the final corner right there from Hair Razor. We got Bo Snipe coming into pit lane there. We got Tap here in 6th. We've got Super in 7th. We've got Mike in 8th. We've got Type R here in 9th place. Piggums has just gotten around him. We got Devlin there in 10th. We've got Mr. Happy Pappy here in 11th, and we got Brad's in 12th place. Fantastic. All right, all 12 drivers that started are still on track here, so the team's doing a great job at getting these cars in great running condition for these drivers to race these awesome radicals around Brands Hatch here today. But it is our point standings leader, Jakey, coming in right now and still currently leading the race. But we still have quite a bit of time remaining here in this race. It's only at the 38-minute mark, so there's still another 12 minutes remaining in this race. And the bigger question is, does Jakey have to fuel in his car to get around for another 12 minutes? I don't believe so. If that's the case, Piggums, as you can see with a half tank of fuel there, has more than enough fuel to get around the rest of this race. Doug Barrow here, much of the same thing for him there in third place. We've got Hair Razor here in 4th. We've got Bo in 5th. And Bo took the wrong tire, it looks like, unless it's just a game glitch that I'm seeing here. But it's showing us the intermediate wet tire here on this driver's car at the moment, so it's going to make for some tough racing if that's the case for this driver. But it might just be a glitch that we're seeing on screen, because it does look like the car seems to be handling like it's on that racing medium tire like it's supposed to be. We've got Tap here in 6th place. We've got Supra in 7th. We've got Mike in 8th. We've got Type R here in 9th place. We've got Devlin here in the top 10. We've got Pappy here in 11th, and Brad's here in 12th place. Rock and roll. Back up to our race leader, hoping to gap up to about 3.13 seconds, 3.2 seconds here now, but it's not going to be enough to keep Piggums in behind him when he pits. He's almost a half second up on that fastest lap here right now as well. So and Jakey right now is in full send mode, and I think he's just trying to get as many tenths of a second as he can on that second place driver before he does have to make that inevitable pit stop here in the latter part of this race. I just seen Supra just come out of pit lane, I believe. Maybe that was Bo Snipe coming out of pit lane we just seen there, ducking in behind Supra. So Bo Snipe's going to come out into 7th place. Doug Barrow here, he's in P3, he's looking real solid. Hair Razor chasing here in, I'm thinking Ghostbusters, chasing here in 4th place, and 8.7 seconds, so Doug's opened the gap back up a little bit, and then there's a massive gap here between the drivers. There's almost 30 seconds to 5th place driver Tap at this point, so the Marshmallow Man's moving a little bit slower than the Ghostbusters are here today at Brands Hatch, but that leaves Bo Snipe here in 6th place as well. And the 3-second penalty to add insult to injury here for this driver currently. 7th place is Supra. He's going to grab that position from Bo Snipe without a maybe not. Coming off the track there, a little bit of commentator's curse maybe, my bad. As he goes off the track there, that might not allow him now to get ahead of Bo Snipe when he serves that 3-second penalty. So that was interesting. We got Mike coming up at speed now, so there might be a position battle happening there shortly. We've got Devlin and Type R starting to close up on each other here, and this is a battle for position. And just off in the background, what do you see there? You do see our 4th place driver, Hair Razor, starting to catch up to these drivers here. So it's going to be interesting, because these two drivers in front of Hair Razor do have the right to their positional battle. So if they start battling in front of Hair Razor is going to just have to sit tight and let it settle itself out, or he's going to have to find a way around those two drivers while they battle. So Hair Razor is going to have a very quick decision to make here pretty soon. There's a little bit of a wiggle there from Devlin, as these two, appear to be battling a little bit here. And a little bit of a bump there between those two drivers, between Devlin and Type R there, I think. Hair Razor's just going to take opportunity to get in between those two cars here. So one down, one to go type thing. But that blue flag car fighting back here, and he's just going to settle back in behind Hair Razor there, and the other driver's going to duck into pit lane there. So definitely jumping into pit lane there. Type R going to grab that position back from that driver, and Hair Razor, well, gets through that little bit of mess there. So I believe I seen another set of racing intermediate tires on a race car there as well. Pigham's here in first place now, so he's taking a race lead back. So the second time he's now led this race. It is our third lead change of the night. And a big lag spike right there as Type R didn't go off the track there, but it sure looked like he did. And there we go. So lag spike, one of our drivers disconnected and was Supra, it looks like. So that's unfortunate there for that driver. Got Pigham's here in first place. We've got Doug in second. We've got Hair Razor now in third. We've got Jakey in fourth, 3 seconds in behind Hair Razor. And it keeps showing me the intermediate tires on all these cars, and I don't know why. Bo Snipe here now on in sixth place as well, so I think it's just a glitch we're seeing there. We have Mike here in seventh. We've got Type R in eighth. Jakey is just coming up on him there as well. We've got Devlin here in ninth. We've got Pappy in 10th, and we got Brad's in 11th. Alright, so we've lost 2 cars here, 1 car here so far tonight. That was definitely a disconnect. We all seen the lag spike happen right before he left the lobby there, so it is definitely a big disconnect issue right there for Supra, unfortunately, but I'll still give him 12th place points here in the race today. So it is Pigham's here. He is just slightly up on his best lap here so far. Doug is in second place. A little bit of a slide coming around Druids there. Hair Razor trying to track him down. It's 11.4 seconds now as I cap. Ooh, Jakey coming a little bit squirrely out of Paddock Hill Bend there. And Type R trying to get his lap back from that driver there with that mistake. But Jakey just tightens it right back up through Druids. Ooh, little bit of spicy on the exit there. And Jakey has his hands full right now with some dirty tires underneath that Radical. But he gets it back together here and continues on up the road. So he's still managing to keep Type R in behind him there, but Type R is definitely putting a little bit of pressure on him there, and it's still telling me that Jakey's on intermediate racing tires. So I'm not sure if that's actually the case, and if it is the case, big mistake made there by that driver, unfortunately. We got Top here in 5th, we've got Bo Snipe here in 6th, we've got Mike in 7th, we've got Type R in 8th, we've got Devlin in 9th, Pappy here in 10th, and Brad's here in 11th. I swear I've seen 3 drivers on intermediate tires here, but I also have this gut feeling that that's just a glitch we're seeing. So Pigham 7 seconds up the road here in the lead from Doug Barrow. He's got 12 seconds almost on Hair Razor in 3rd place, and Hair Razor has almost 9 seconds on 4th place driver Jakey, who we've seen just make a mistake. And boy, oh boy, we're seeing some lag still coming from Type R here. Tap here in 5th, we got Bo in 6th, we've got Mike in 7th, Type R in 8th, Devlin in 9th, Pappy in 10th, and Brad's here in 11th. Alright. How we all doing, everybody? Hope everybody's got great weekends planned. We're definitely not expecting to see a lot of traffic this weekend here due to Mother's Day, and well, that's a good thing. That means we're all doing the right thing and spending our times with our moms, or for our mom, well, enjoying all the extra love we're getting from our loved ones here this weekend. So that's what we'd like to see. So we're almost finished this race here. We have about 14.5 minutes remaining. And we may see another round of pit stops yet. Yeah, for some reason I had some bad math about 10 minutes ago, and forgot to add another 10 minutes to that clock. It is an hour-long race, not a 50-minute race. And yeah, we're still rocking at 14 minutes remaining here in this thing. So Pigham's just may need to stop again. Same with Doug here in 2nd place. Hair Razor, he might have enough of a load of fuel on there maybe to push it the distance. Jakey is about 20 seconds in behind that driver here currently. He's now on the racing medium tire, so I do think that he may actually have been on that intermediate tire potentially, but I'm not sure. The game is being awfully weird here today. I gotta say. It's messing with my emotions. It's making me think things that aren't actually there. But hey, we're gonna keep on rocking and rolling. One thing we do know is Piggums is in the lead of this race by 8.6 seconds, and he was the fastest guy in qualifying. He started the race on pole position. He's currently holding the fastest lap on the racetrack, and it has been challenged by a couple of drivers, but nobody's still able to take that away from him yet. He also hasn't been able to improve on it himself yet either. So Doug's here in second place, and he's trying. He's 8.7 seconds down the road, and he's starting to slowly but surely lose a little bit of time here to Hair Raiser. It was 11.5, now it's 11, but again, got a blue flag situation developing in front of some of these drivers, and blue flags have been spicy here today. They haven't been making it easy for these lead lap cars, so but they've also been smart about it. They haven't really cost themselves any time either, so that was a great little job there by those two drivers to sort that situation out in a very tough sector of the racetrack as well. So great job to Brad's and Hair Raiser there. And here we go. Jakey is almost 0.3 of a second faster here through that sector, as he is 18 seconds in behind Hair Raiser. So he's closing up a little bit of time here. He's definitely on a charge. He's just tucked in behind Type R here. Give him a little bit of a push here, and then he's just going to go around. So Type R again, same spot, just getting out of the way there. And Jakey is coming around here to start lap 32 for himself here today. So some of these drivers are definitely starting to feel the pressure is starting to put the push on here. He is I'm assuming that these drivers up in front have to make a pit stop, so he does know that it's important to gain as much time as he can around the racetrack to make sure he can maximize his chances at either grabbing a P1 while they're in pit lane, or being in a position when they come out of pit lane to at least battle for that position. So trying to do what he can to bleed the time down to that podium group. Tap here in 5th place, much of the same thing. He's 20 seconds in behind Jakey, so he's got a little bit of distance to make up there, a minute off the leader right now. And these drivers just a little bit out of sequence with the rest of the group up front. Ball Snipe here in 6th, we got Mike in 7th, we got Type R in 8th, we've got Devlin here in 9th place, we've got Pappy here rounding out our top 10, and then we got Brad just in behind there in 11th place. So the drivers are rocking and a rolling here at Brands Hatch, and there we go. We got Piggums coming into pit lane, so the time is now for him. And let's see what Doug opts to do here. He's going to do the same thing. I can tell by the way he's coming around the corner. So Doug's coming into pit lane. What is Hair Raiser going to do? He's got a little bit more fuel than the drivers up in front of him here, so he's going to stay out. I guess the bigger question is, does he actually have enough fuel to take this thing out without stopping again? He's got a little under 11 minutes. He's got to keep that about, I don't know, maybe 18% fuel he's got left in his race car. Piggums comes out just in front of him there as well, so Piggums stays in the race lead there. Hair Raiser's now in 2nd. Doug has come out, he's in 3rd. And Jakey is, as the timer's coming down, about the same in behind here. So, alright, we got pit stops happened, and the drivers are out. It's a very short stop here at Brands Hatch, obviously. Tap is in 5th place. We've got Snipe here in 6th. We've got Mike in 7th. And we're just looking at the timing here to see how much these guys closed up on those guys when they made their pit stops. And it honestly wasn't really a whole lot there. So typically our pit stops are quite long here at some of these racetracks, but clearly at Brands Hatch they're very short stops. So yeah, here we go. Piggums 2.4 seconds in the lead of this race. Hair Raiser now in 2nd place. He hasn't made a pit stop yet, and well, he's within about that 4 laps of fuel remaining window here currently now. So that's not going to be enough to take him through to the checkered flag here. He is going to have to make a stop. Doug has made a stop here. He's 5.2 seconds in behind Hair Raiser, so should assume 2nd place back. Jakey will put himself back into a position, I think, to have a maybe a battle for 3rd place here before the end of this race. Tap and Snipe and Mike and Type R and Devlin and Pappy and Brad's are a little bit out of that battle for those top 4 positions at this point, and again, just due to different sequence of pit stopping and maybe some mistakes being made on the racetrack, I'm not sure, but the top 4 drivers are definitely on a little bit of a different pitting strategy than the rest of the drivers are, for sure. Alright, so Piggins is 8.4 seconds now up on Doug Burrows, so no gain, no loss, essentially, after Hairraiser makes his pit stop there for these two drivers and the gap in between them. Hairraiser gains a little bit of time, actually, in a sense, on Doug. He was about 12 seconds in behind Doug and Pitt, and he's only 7.6, so he has, in a sense, gained some time on the overcut, in a sense, the extreme overcut in this case. Jakey here is only 3.4 seconds in behind Hairraiser, so his pit strategy, essentially his mega undercut, has put him closer at opportunity to make a move for podium position here before this thing's over today. Bo Snipe here in 5th place. We've got Tap here in 6th. We've got Mike, ooh, a little spicy coming around Paddock Hill Bend in 7th. We got Type R here in 8th. Devlin in 9th place. Mr. Pappy in 11th. You can see Bo Snipe just coming in behind him right there. And Mr. Brad's here in 11th position as well. So looks like Piggins is pretty well in control of this thing here. He's still got about 7.5 minutes remaining yet. Anything can happen in 7.5 minutes around Brad's hatch as he's, well, drivers start to maybe lose focus. They're starting to get a little tired. It doesn't take much. It just takes a little bibble and a little bobble. And all of a sudden you got a race on your hands again. So right now Piggins is 1st, Doug is 2nd, Hairraiser's 3rd, Jake's 4th, Bo's 5th, Tap 6th, Mike 7th, Type R's in 8th, Devlin's in 9th, Pappy's in 10th, and Mr. Brad's here in P11. So, rock and roll. Ooh, little purple sector coming from Piggins here. Again, that one, the 30.134, has been holding up since about the 5th or 6th lap now, I think, on the racetrack. It's held up basically the test of this race here so far. So you can see that the drivers push early on, get that best of position they can, and then you can tell that the drivers start to settle into what we like to call race pace. And that means that the times are going to be not a ton slower than we see in qualifying, but they're going to be a lot more controlled and strategized times, in a sense. The drivers get into a rhythm, you start hitting the same time every time around the racetrack. Consistency really does play a major part in endurance racing, so consistent laps are key. And Piggins is definitely consistent. 130, 130, 130, 130, 130, and then his pits, and now he's right back in to those 130s again. So definitely consistent, and one of the biggest reasons why he may be in the lead of this race here today. Doug's just a little off pace here right now. He's about a second slower, a little less than our race leader here currently. Hairraiser 8.2 seconds in behind Doug there now, so Hairraiser starting to lose time to the 2nd place driver, and maybe he needs to start having a little cause of concern for the 4th place driver, Apex Jakey. He's only about 3.7 seconds in behind him here, so no immediate cause for concern, but you can tell Jakey's definitely pushing, and he is maximizing every millimeter of this racetrack right now to try and get around it as quickly as he can to reel that driver in. So looking for a podium spot here is Apex Racing's Jakey right now, and 3.5 seconds up the road is that potential podium spot in the Ghostbusters Hairraiser car up in front of him. There we go. Mr. Bo Snipe here has now moved up into 5th place. And Tap has dropped down into 6th place with that pit stop. He did make a pit stop about 3 laps ago there, I did see. So Bo Snipe grabbing that position when he made that pit stop, and now Tap in 6th place. Got Mike in 7th. Devlin's all the way up into 8th place here, so had a very good, solid, patient race here, and it's paying dividends here for him. We got Type R in 9th, we got Pappy in 10th, we got Brad's here in 11th, and kudos to all the drivers. They are still absolutely sending these radicals around the racetrack as absolutely fast as they can. So Piggins rocking and rolling, 8.7 seconds, and with just 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the race, he is looking in control. He's got about 3 more laps to go, including this one, I believe. And we're going to see a checkered flag here today. So it's Doug here in 2nd place, Hairraiser in 3rd, Jake in 4th, we got Snipe in 5th, we got Tap in 6th, we've got Mike in 7th, we've got Devlin in 8th, we've got Type R here in 9th, we got Mr. Pappy in 10th place, and we got Brad's in 11th, and we love that. Love it, love it. no quitting these drivers. There really is no quitting these drivers. So one driver having some mechanical failure, car in behind the wall here today, and leaves us down to 11 out of the 12 drivers starting the grid here this afternoon. So it happens. Cars break. Things happen. Alright, so Bigham's on a purple sector here, and everybody's trying to get that purple lap, and Jakey actually does get that purple lap. It's now a 130.123 from Apex Racing's Jakey, as he just finally snags that purple lap from Piggums here last time around. Now Piggums is pushing for it. He was purple coming out of that last sector. Let's see if he can get it here. It's going to be close. Oh, and he does. It's a 129.929, and Piggums was like, I see your fastest lap, and I respond with a 129.2929. Good sir. Let's see what you got. So, Piggums responding with a nice, juicy, fast lap around the racetrack here, and boy, oh boy, it is on, as Jakey is now only 2.3 seconds behind Hair Razor, and a 130.067 just came from Jakey right there as well. So, boy, these drivers are on the move now. It is getting down to the wire. 2.5 minutes remaining in this race. They have 2 laps to go, including this lap. It is all or nothing here at this point now. So Piggum's 10 seconds up the road from Doug. Doug is 8 seconds up the road from Hair Razor, and Hair Razor is only now 1.8 seconds up the road from Jakey. So Jakey is really starting to push here as he comes through third season. He is in full send mode, and he is half a second up on Piggum's fastest lap right now as he comes through the third seat sector. So let's stick with Jake here for a minute, because this man is on a mission currently right now. 1.4 seconds now the gap on Hair Razor. He's taken half a second out of Hair Razor here so far halfway around this lap. This man has absolutely, I don't know what he's done. He's hit that NOS button in his car all of a sudden, and he is sending it. And he's still a half a second up on Piggum's fastest lap here. Oh boy, we got ourselves a fight, I think, here for third and fourth place real soon. It's just less than a second now as these two come around the racetrack, and Jake has he has put it in go mode. Let's see the lap. It is a 129.368 from Jake, so almost 3/4 of a second faster than Piggums around that racetrack, and that was a cooker. So Piggums here still up in first place, and Doug's still sitting in second. 6.2 seconds is that gap now from these two, and Hair Razor has a wobble, and that might be enough for Jake to get opportunity. No, Hair Razor had just enough of a lead there to hold Jake off. So Jake is definitely on the charge zone. This is a battle right here. We got less than a minute remaining in this race, and P3 is on the line. Jake looking for the cutback, and here we go, up side by side, coming out of third season. Great job by these two drivers, and we're side by side as we head up to mid straight here, and we're going to be going side by side through this left-hander, or is one of these drivers going to get the edge on the other? Jakey does get a little bit of an edge, but Hair Razor still on that inside line. And Jakey's going to get the edge here in a P3 battle here happening right now in front of us, very, very near the end of this race. And it's going to be Hair Razor just dropping back into fourth place as Jakey hard charging, hard fighting, managing to get this third place position here on what team seems to be the final lap of this race. So Piggum's going to get a victory lap here as he comes around the start finish line. He's going to go one more time around, so that's going to be final lap for Piggums. Doug Barrow, maybe he might get another lap around. Let's see what happens here. Nope, it is race over for Doug Barrow. So P2 for Doug Barrow here. It's going to be a very great close third place finish here for Jake, and fourth for Hair Razor. So great job to those two drivers. Both Snipes coming around here. It's going to be a P5 finish for both Snipe, but these guys are a little bit behind that front pack. Gary coming in with that thumbs up on the stream. How you doing, my guy? So Bo Snipe coming around here. He's just coming through the top part of the tray, the bottom part of the racetrack, I guess, essentially on the track map up in front of us there. And he's just up in behind Brad. So Brad's get 11th place finish here as he comes around in front of Bo Snipe as well. So congratulations to both these drivers on a well done race here today. Brad's going to cross there in T-5 second. 3 seconds. There we go. Great job, both those drivers. We got Devlin and Tap going to finish here as well. So Devlin in 8th, and Tap in 6th place there. So great job to them. And where is our race leader? ahead of Mike. All right. So it is going to be Piggums here coming around, and it's going to be a race win for Piggums. So he had this race pretty well under control for the most part. Great strategy here, and it's going to bring him home in a first place finish here today. So congratulations to Piggums as well. So Mike here, he's going to come around. I believe it's the final driver to cross that checkered flag here in 7th place on the racetrack. No, Mr. Happy Fappy, who is out of fuel, coasting his way to the start and finish line here at Brands Hatch today, and you got to wiggle it over that hill there just to get back downhill. Great job there by Pappy as he's going to coast his radical across the finish line here today in 10th position. And I got to say, that was a pretty good race. Pretty good race, got to say. GG's to all the drivers, right from 1st to 12th place here today. And unfortunate for Ash, as he was just unable to get that internet to cooperate with him here today. And let's get some, wrong button. Take a look at those unofficial results. So it is Apex, it's not Apex, it's Piggums here in 1st place, it's Doug Barrow in 2nd place, it's Apex Racing's Jakey in 3rd place, it's Hair Razor in 4th, it's Bo Snipe in 5th, it's Tap in 6th, Mike in 7th, Devlin in 8th place, Type R in 9th, Happy Pappy in 10th, Brad's in 11th, and Supra with the disconnect there in 12th place here today. So great job by all the drivers on the track here today. So we do have podium interviews up and available for the drivers, of course. We'll give them a moment to jump in. All right, that was a pretty good little radical race here at Brands Hatch today, I gotta say. Great job by the whole field of drivers. Lots of battles all throughout the race for the most part there. Everything settled down a little bit in the second half of the race, I guess, in the early parts, but then it really started to spice back up there again at the end of the race. Jake with a huge charge and just getting it done. Ahead of Hair Razor there in 3rd place. So coming down right down to the last couple laps between those two drivers, and that was some good racing. Piggums looked quite comfortable in his radical around Brands Hatch here. Obviously that Red Bull looking team there is definitely locked into this car, has it tuned very well, and the driver behind the wheel doing a great job. I mean, it's just some great racing all around. Alright, it is Nations Cup this week today here too as well. Of course, that's right, the official Nations Cups championships have started here as well. So some of the drivers might have been bouncing right away to get into that as well. So we'll have to check it all out. Alright, we do have our 3rd place and our 2nd place drivers. So we will have a little chat with those two for the time being. And we're going to turn that on there. Alright. Turn that up so you amazing viewers at home can hear our drivers and what they have to say as always. So we're going to start with our 3rd place driver, Apex Jakey, of course, coming in with a 2-point lead in the championship here for the Supercup Radicals this season. Tough racing out there, a little bit of a different strategy than the drivers up in front of you here today, but still managing to come home in a solid P3 and a really, really great charge there at the end of the race and a great battle with Hair Razor. So congratulations on your 3rd place finish, and talk us through, well, your race here today.
Thank you, sir. Didn't start off too bad. Keeping pace with Piggins, Bo and Doug. It was Hair Razor, I think it was. I think there was 5 of us in a little pack. But enjoyed the first half of the race, and then second stints really put the foot down, gained a massive gap on the undercut on Piggins. And from there, it was pretty much just going to be keep putting laps in, keep being consistent, and coming for the final stop, and I ended up putting intermediates on and didn't realise for 2 laps. So extra pit stop was needed, and then another push to the end, which luckily I did actually catch Hair Razor in the end. So thankfully, brought home P3.
We were wondering about that, as you weren't the only driver that did that here today. I think there was 3 drivers in the field here today that accidentally put those intermediate racing tires on. Bo Snipe, I believe, was one of those drivers, and I think one of the drivers a little bit further down the pack also did the same thing. So, well, the drivers will obviously sort that out with their pit crews in behind the scenes, I'm sure. But nonetheless, I mean, you still to come back and hit a podium for that means you had pretty good pace here today. So, I mean, Radicals, Brands Hatch, pretty good combination as far as a race car and a racetrack goes. How was that today? The racing was great, battling for the first half as well. I mean, lots of fun out there today.
Oh yeah, it's definitely fun. Definitely fun around this track. Sorry, parents are watching Eurovision. Definitely fun around this track in this car. One little mistake can cost you daily, and I mean that showed throughout the race. Just one little push wide can cost you seconds, just because it's such a momentum car.
No, absolutely. Well, nonetheless, the strategy just working out for you here today, and enough of a charge and enough of a car underneath of you at the end there just to squeak into that 3rd place finish. So, great racing, and I guess any last comments or add-ons and shoutouts?
Shout out to all the racers that turned up. Shout out to you for doing the comms. Gonna go and watch them back later tonight. Always fun on track. It's a nice little mini series. Let your head down, have some fun. But thank you to the organisers that put it on as well behind the scenes. A lot of work goes into putting up leagues. And lastly, thank you to the Apex team for pushing me to be better every day.
Absolutely, and we're definitely seeing a lot of them Apex guys up in the fields here, so it's fun to watch them race. They're good, clean racers, and well, one of the drivers sitting up in the podium here again today, so congratulations on a good 3rd place finish and adding some good points to those standings, and we'll see you in a couple weeks for round 4.
Yes, sir. Take care.
You too. Thank you for your time, as always. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so a couple of UK drivers here on the podium and 1 North American driver's taking it all home for the win here today. So let's talk to our 2nd place finisher, Doug Barrow here, and this man has been on a little bit of a charge here lately in the Gran Turismo racing community as far as these mini-series goes. He's been just locking down some championship stars on his car, i.e. winning some mini-series here, and kind of has a target on his back. So a good race from me here tonight, and a couple of really great saves throughout the race here as well. But managing to keep that momentum and keeping in the fight. So lots of crazy battling and jockeying for position early on in the race, and then that 2nd stint settled down a little bit, and then the big charge at the end. So talk us through your race here today.
This was alright. I got a good start off the line, but then I just mullered turn 1, ran wide. 2, 3 cars went up the inside of me. It got squeezed to the edge. It was all clean, but it's like, oh no, I've just lost loads of positions. And after that, it was just literally trying to pick my way back through, trying not to get caught up in anything. And yeah, lots of silly little saves, so many silly little mistakes that I'd gain a bit, then lose a lot, then gain a little bit, then lose a lot. And it was just, I need to try and figure out how to do this without having to catch so many slides. And I think then I'll be all right. But me and Pigs have been on the practicing, we've been fairly even in the little practice races, and he just, I don't know if he made any silly mistakes, but if he did, he made less of them than me. And I was a little bit worried about Jakey, and I mean, he's pulled out the fastest laps. He shows that he can drive this car around the circuit. Piggy in the 29s as well. I didn't quite get near my best, but you know, it's it was a good race.
Absolutely, and the competition is just continues to get faster and stronger as of course each seasons progress and the drivers continue to get that seat time. So I mean, as you see the competition really starting to stiffen up, how does that change, I guess, your approach coming into each round?
It doesn't. As Jakey said, it's a good fun event. I mean, we take it seriously to the extent that we don't muck about on the circuit, but this is the fun one. But this is the one I enjoy. This is the one where, and I think a lot of the people enjoy it. It's more balanced, and you know, it's so yeah. I love the faster drivers coming. We've had so much good side by side stuff. I mean, we went through, was it Dingledale side by side with someone? You don't see that normally. You know what I mean? That's normally where someone gets shoved wide. So I think it was Dingledale anyway. But yeah, so it's, you know, it's yeah, it's great. I love it. I love it. I've closed a point on Jakey because he got the fastest lap. So fingers crossed, keep going like that, and there's a chance I could get another star.
Absolutely, and I mean only halfway through, so there's still 3 rounds remaining here. So
Yeah,
definitely lots of time to get those points added up yet. But you know, it's a good show. It's a good call as far as the well balance and the fun factor goes in the series. And great turnout here tonight. Unfortunately for one driver, car having a failure there and having to put it behind the wall early in the race there. But still, the 11 drivers that showed up, you know, they did great time, and the ones that are just feeling everything out, you know, they put the time and they put their paces in, and they gained a lot of valuable experience. So, you know, let's touch on that. Obviously, Doug Burrow is one of our administrators here at the GTRC, the Gran Turismo Racing community, and also a competitor as well, ladies and gentlemen. So we like to pick the admin's minds from time to time when we have them on the podium. You know, the pros and cons of league racing. I mean, obviously the cons is it's a commitment type thing. It's hard to sometimes get a full season in because real life obviously takes an effect. You know, we have families, we have jobs, we have things going on. But overall, I think the pros outweigh the cons. I mean, but at the end of the day, I think the biggest thing that I've seen over the last little while, not only in your community but other league communities as well, is that the drivers just continue to improve and continue to get better and better. And I think that's attributed to, you know, organizations like yourselves continuing to put on these little events on days that these drivers can race. So, you know, let's touch on that a little bit. I mean, you know, what's the goal? What's the dream moving forward here? You know, with the community and the group, and you know, maybe what's coming up in the near future. At the latter half of the year here when this next season ends. Do you have any ideas for that yet?
we're looking into a Group Three season for next season for the main event. Obviously, the mini events they that separate them, they picked out on a fly, trying to pick a fun car, and you know, trying to get something that everybody can get involved in that's balanced and even for everybody, so it doesn't come down to car choice. With regards to the drivers and what's going on, I mean, we've had a couple of guest drivers today. One of them lagged out. He's been with us all afternoon, and the race company started having connection problems. So that was such a shame. But he's really interested. Devlin, I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure well, I say that I'm nearly 100% sure he's interested. So that's another couple of drivers joining. But our goal is just we all work together and we all help each other get quicker. The prime example, I mean, Mr. Fishadara, who was with us, he said it when he came and joined us. He was slower than half of the pack, and he became one of our fastest drivers. Mr. Snipe, I've got to give a big shout out to because he's worked so hard with us and listened to advice and, you know, followed us around and tried to see what we're doing, the faster drivers, and he's become really fast. He's worked so hard. He's joined other leagues and he's showing up and doing well in those as well. So I mean that's our goal for all the drivers to get faster, to get better, you know. But the main goal for the community is to be a community, so we can all have a laugh with each other. We can all have a joke. We can have arguments. We can have disagreements. All that happens. That's life. But this is for a lot of people, me myself especially, because of my condition. This is a social life. This is a community. This is escapism. This is fun. You know, I think that's our aim as a goal as a community. Is just to, you know, to be a community. Everybody be friends, have a laugh with each other, have fun, and race every once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Mother's Day weekend here in North America. I'm not sure if it's the same right across the board, all across the world, or not. But
It's not here, no.
no, yeah, I didn't think so. So, you know, it's still a great turnout from the drivers on, well, you know, a pretty important day, no matter where it is, when it is Mother's Day in the world. Obviously, mom's super important. So, any messages you want to send out there to all the moms before we kick this thing off here today?
To all the mums and my wife, who is a mum, thank you for everything you've done for us. Thank you for everything you're going to do for us. Thank you for being there to mums. And just want to give a big old shout out to Pigs and Jakey, Razor, Devlin, Ash, who couldn't make it, Bo, everybody, Simon, everybody on the grid, yourself especially, for sticking with us through it all and doing the commentary. I know you've been busy, so especially to that. To know Lando, who's helped out a lot recently, just to all the guys, the guys in the background, everybody, thank you.
Aha. All right. Well, great shout outs as always, and great racing. You really seem to settle into these mini series. It really seems you kind of lock into these 6 weeks events, as opposed to the long competition series. Now, obviously, it's a different. Different drivers we see in between the two groups as well. Obviously, the competitive part of the series tends to bring in some more competitive drivers, but overall, great race here today, and I would certainly think that all the moms that were tuning in and watching are going to watch later would enjoy all the great action that this Radical series provided here today. Brands Hatch was a great combination, and I thought it was fitting for a Mother's Day weekend, so good job on you guys for that. And
thank you.
Well, I mean, we got GT4 next weekend. With that being said, there may, with the big question mark here, ladies and gentlemen that are watching and wondering what's coming next weekend from the GTRC, have a special event happening. And I don't want to say too much more than that currently at the moment. It's currently in the works behind the scenes. So stay tuned to the socials. We are going to announce if we make a change to the GT4 series for this weekend upcoming. We talked about community, and this is exactly one of those things. It's for the community, and without saying too much more, we'll leave it at that for now. But stay tuned, as there will be an announcement, and at some point there is going to be something special coming from the GTRC to show what sim racing communities do behind the scenes for each other as well. So we appreciate you all. Doug, we appreciate you and the admin staff behind the scenes that keep this thing running around all season long for the drivers in the community to have something to be a part of and race in. And it's an honor and a pleasure to be here and broadcasting with this amazing group for so long, and I definitely look forward to more in the future. So
Honor's all ours, mate. Thank you.
Next week is a whole new week, ladies and gentlemen. What else can we say? Presented by the GTRC, again, the Gran Turismo racing community. With that being said, we have something else special coming up pretty soon, too, for everybody coming from the GTRC. Something on a little bit of a different level. And, we're not going to say too much more about that either. We want to keep you all enthralled and teased and wondering what's coming soon. But a couple of big announcements coming here this season before the end of the season from GTRC as well. So we appreciate you all the fans out there, all the viewers coming in on such a special weekend. We really do appreciate you taking the time. The drivers coming out here this weekend and putting on a great show for the fans at Brands Hatch, and of course for the viewers at home. We appreciate the drivers and of course all the volunteers that make everything happen. You really are the all-stars when it comes down to what we do here, and we appreciate you all. Stay winning. Remember, you all matter. Our doors are always open if you need anything. And, we'll see you next Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for either the GT4 Championship or something a little special. To be determined. We appreciate y'all. Take care. Have a safe weekend. And we love you, moms.